June 23rd, Friday. Thanks for everybody for showing up and hopping on here. Sorry, I was out last week. Had a mastermind with Dr. Josh Axe and all of his team, an amazing group of people here that I'm fortunate enough to hang around with in this area. So I'm going to go over a few things with us today that are important. So the housing competition is heating up right now. What used to be a recession was 2 consecutive quarters of negative GDP, which we had last year. So technically, you could say we really were in a recession, but now they've sort of moved the goalpost on that, and it's now 3 consecutive quarters of negative GDP. But leading economic indicators, I don't know if you guys are aware, but Japan's economy is not doing so well right now. There's a few other European economies not doing well. And that is actually helping us in some certain way, just in the bond market, because when investors flee the other economies investing there, they will find safety in American bonds, and so that will help mortgage rates. Now, our manufacturing here has been much lower. These are all indicators that we're nearing a recession. But let me read you this quote from Janet Yellen, who is the secretary at the U.S. Federal Reserve. So the last time we saw, so keep this in mind, the LEI, which is the leading economic indicators index, fell 14 for the 14th consecutive month. Yet despite this, Janet Yellen made this quote on the odds of a recession. She said, "My odds of it, if anything, have gone down because look at the resilience of the labor market and inflation is coming down." Now, what's interesting about this take is that we know the labor market is a lagging market indicator and inflation always falls during a recession. So it really doesn't make a lot of sense to include that as part of a rationale. So very interesting. And, it's just another unfortunate indicator that this particular Federal Reserve group seems to be lost. They have not pivoted when they should have pivoted, and they've pivoted when they should have sat still. And so, how does this affect us? Well, inflation has come down. It will continue to come down. Unfortunately, interest rates have not come down as much as we have been touting earlier in the year. So, yes, interest rates will come down as we move through this, but this has partly been, the problem has been the fear of the banking crisis. So when people are, once that settles down, then, you've had a sell-off of bonds. And so when the market fears of the banking crisis settles down, this shift should really shift back to the fundamentals, and the fundamentals will take over, and we'll see lower rates with lower inflation, lower economic growth that's coming upon us. Let's talk about used cars right now. I want to tell you guys about that because some of you guys may be in the market for buying a used car. So right now, used cars over the last 2 CPI reports were up 4.4%. That's 60% annualized. If you can think about that, that's a lot. Well, the good news is that leveled out the past 30 days, which should also help the inflation numbers. So now another thing I want to tell you guys about is the NAR, the Realtor Confidence Index. I want to tell you realtors out there, and also you guys who are actually looking to purchase a home, some quick stats that will be helpful. These are real time. So there has been an average of about 3.3 offers per sale. For inspection contingencies, there's been 25% of inspection contingencies waived. So this is showing strength in sales. This 25% inspection contingency waiver, that means that people are saying, "Hey, I'm just going to buy it without an inspection contingency." 25% of it. That's close to an all-time high, guys. So expect that to continue. That's showing strength in home sales. It's really a seller's market in most places. So as we move forward, the Fed, they have their certain economic indicator that they use, which really no one really agrees with, the reason why they use it, but that's what we have to deal with. It's just kind of like playing a game, guys, with people who They have their own set of rules, and they play by those rules no matter what they are, how they affect the rest of the game. And the personal consumption, the PCE expenditure, that's due out this week, so we'll be monitoring that closely. Let us know if we can help with anything. We're here for you, and thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.